Hey, what's up, y'all? Khordmaster here. Alright, so I need to talk to you guys about having too many different ways of making music. So currently, I have my Yamaha P515 digital piano, home bass. You know, I'm a pianist, of course, so I do a lot of music on there. I have my Roland Phantom 88 key keyboard, that's synthesizer workstation that's at home, that lets me make music. And not have to be on a computer. I can like make anything and everything right on that one keyboard. I have Ableton, which I don't use that much, but I've been contemplating kind of getting back into that. I have my OP1 Field, I have my OPZ, and then I have my slew of iPad apps. And in some ways, I feel like there's way too many ways. I just spit a bubble out just now. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you saw it. I'll like maybe slow it down and see if we can zoom in post. Let me just make sure this is looking good so far. Okay, yeah, I had to reposition here a little bit. But yeah, in some ways, I think that, you know, there's pros and cons, just like most things in life. There's pros and cons of having too many ways of There's pros and cons of having too many different ways of making music. I would say one of the pros with that is if you're someone like me where you're kind of creatively fluid and you're not really like, you don't like being stuck in making and doing or making something in one specific way, then having different ways is great. Like if I'm in the mode of sitting on a, you know, on a piano type key bed and sit in the studio, then I have my Phantom for that. But if I'm out in the jungle somewhere, in like the jungle in Costa Rica or something like that, then I have my OP1, which by the way is right here. My OP1 Field, right? Or my OPZ even, or my iPad. And so that's one of the pros, is that you're like constantly inspired. Like all these different ways of making music are very unique. And so you have an opportunity to really just kind of experience something new when you feel like you need to creatively. Why did I say it like that? But also the con, there's a con with that. The con would be that you're never really gonna fully know any of these probably, because there's so many different software versions that come out and stuff like that. And so for me, not having the ability to kind of be strong and like understanding something like the back of your hand will potentially prevent you from being able to make the best stuff in it, right? Because you don't fully understand it. Granted, if you spend a whole lot of time in all of them, eventually maybe you can get to that point, but who, you know, time is a luxury. Who has that much time to be able to, you know, dive into every single piece of gear? So I just wanted to kind of talk about where I'm at, you know, from that standpoint. So like basically, because I have the OP1 Field now, what I've been doing a lot of is I have been continuing to make music in different areas depending on how I'm feeling in that particular moment. But because the OP1 has this line in input and an incredible microphone on it, I'm able to, in most cases, everything that I just mentioned minus the digital piano, I use line in because I want like the direct audio quality. But I'm able to really sort of like bring that music into the OP1 and then further refine it in there, as well as add new textures on top of it and pitch shift it and do all these different kinds of things, perform it with the different effects and all that kind of stuff. And it's just been a lot of fun. And so this is kind of now becoming like my sort of like home base, like the main thing that I'm using, and everything else is kind of like revolving around it. And we'll see how long that goes for, and we'll see if that workflow is something that makes sense in the long run. But right now, I'm having an incredible amount of fun doing it, and I just wanted to share with you guys. So I'm curious to know from you guys, like, do you feel more so akin to enjoying having, you know, many different ways of making music, or do you prefer kind of having a main specific DAW or tool that you use to make music, and that you're not as distracted or interested in these other areas? So let me know the answer to that question in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one of these types of videos, which I'm enjoying making so much. I think the more I make these videos, the more I'm gonna feel just like I'm having a conversation, like literally talking to you right there. Like the person who's watching this, I'm talking to you right now. And I've been watching a lot of MKBHD and listening to the way that he delivers and the way that he talks, and it seems to me as if the way he's talking to the camera is identical to the way that he would be talking to a person that's in the room with him if the cameras are off. That's what it seems like. And that's how I want to eventually get myself to be able to portray myself on my YouTube videos. I want it to feel as natural as humanly possible. And to that point, there's a few things. One, when I'm talking to someone, there's not a huge light behind that person, and so that feels a little bit weird, but you kind of have to in order for it to look good. So that's one thing I have to kind of get adjusted to. Two is the way I'm sitting. Like, you have to be in a position where you're physically comfortable. Like, this chair is good, it's fine, but I think for these types of videos, I think I would be better having a stool that's stationary without a back, or maybe with like a low back, but that way I'm like sitting, and I'm like sitting up and talking, and maybe bring the camera back a little bit. But right now I'm kind of like leaning back a tiny bit, but I'll see how it looks in post. But at this point I'm rambling, which means the video is over. I was gonna say far from over. The video is over, done, finished. So I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys on the next one of these videos. Like and subscribe for more. It does help the channel. What am I? Bye. Later. Have a good one. Peace. Peace, 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 peace. All right, later.